The UAE is quietly buying up Africa.
Over the years, some people have been calling for their respective countries to be sold so that the money could be split among the citizens. I have a good news for you. It is currently happening. But the bad news is you, as an African, you are not getting a share of that money. I want you to watch this video to the end so that you get a clue on what is going on the continent of Africa. The kind of leaders that we have who only think about themselves and what they can be able to milk from their various nations and do away with it. Watch this video.
The UAE is quietly buying up Africa. And when I tell you why and how much land they've acquired in multiple African countries, you will be stunned. The scramble for Africa in the late 1800s led to colonialism and all the pain and suffering we have endured for over 100 years. There is a new scramble for Africa happening behind closed doors, and it might be the most audacious land grab in generations. You must watch to the end of this video and share it with everyone who cares about Africa and our future. Pay attention. As chairman of the company Blue Carbon, a company barely a year old, Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum, a little-known member of Dubai's ruling royal family, is buying up green forest land in African countries. Are you sitting down? According to London newspaper The Guardian, they've bought 20% of Zimbabwe, 10% of Liberia, 10% of Zambia, and 8% of Tanzania. The total land now owned by the UAE is larger than the entire UK. Guys, according to what I'm reading, the UAE company within the last year have bought a United Kingdom-sized portion of Africa. And the people living in those African countries will probably be finding out about this news from my video you're watching right now. I mean, damn, I just found out about it a few hours ago. I'm so grateful for the diligence of my community, and it was my Patreon membership that alerted me to this situation. And after doing my own research, I realized the truth of the matter was far greater than I'd first imagined. So you ask, why is the UAE doing this? What is a Dubai prince's interest in buying up massive forest land in African nations? It's all about the environment and a new green economy that could generate trillions in the future. An economy that most Africans are ignorant of, even though I've tried to tell you about it repeatedly on my platform. It's called carbon offsets. Now, remember when I told all of you to subscribe to my newsletter, the Alkebulan newsletter, that it is crucial you stay informed? It's at www.alkebulan.media. I wrote about carbon offsets almost a year ago. I will link the article at the end of this video so you can educate yourselves on exactly what this is and how it affects all of us. Carbon offsets is where you preserve forests or grow trees to absorb carbon in the atmosphere to offset the carbon pollution you're putting into the atmosphere. The UAE want to fulfill their commitment to the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement is where in 2014, countries agreed to bring down their carbon emissions. Carbon offsets is one of the tools to do this. According to The Guardian, in the contract Blue Carbon has with Liberia, the deal would give the UAE firm the exclusive rights to sell the carbon offset credits for 30 years, taking 70% of the sale of those credits. I actually couldn't believe what I was reading. You realize the main culprits of carbon pollution are most other continents other than Africa, because Africa is the least developed. So what the UAE and most likely other Western nations will try to do is go and buy African land to offset the pollution they're pumping into the atmosphere as they build their empires. And what do we Africans get in exchange? Paper money, fiat money, that doesn't even go directly to the people. What is wild about this is that once this land is sold, the peoples of those African countries can only do what the owners of that land allow them to do on it. In fact, The whole point of buying the land for carbon offsets is to not use it for anything other than the absorption of carbon emissions. So basically, Africans can't use land because it's helping other continents build their cities without having to worry about carbon emissions in their countries. You have any idea how hard it is to buy land in the UAE if you're not from there? Is there any way on this planet that an African could own a UK-sized part of the UAE, let alone just to grow trees on it? Impossible. In fact, there are issues right now with Nigerians and other Africans even obtaining visas to go to Dubai and other countries in the UAE. So, they are very strict about who they let into their countries and most definitely what kind of ownership foreign nationals can have. The scramble for Africa in the 1800s led to a century of colonialism. The new scramble for Africa is for the land literally under our feet being sold away without we the people having any say in it. I am less concerned about the deal as I am about the fact the people of Liberia, Zambia, Kenya, and Tanzania weren't told before the sales were made. Make sure you're subscribed or following, as I will most definitely be doing a part 2 on this situation. Thank you for watching my video and I hope you enjoyed it. As we continue to learn about Africa and the diaspora, as well as our amazing hidden history, such awareness and knowledge is giving context to current affairs and politics of today, as well as plans and initiatives for the future of Africa. That is why I want to talk to you about something very important: how you can help make sure this community continues to grow and that more people interested in Africa are able to access the conversations, debates, analyses, and commentary that we are amassing here on this channel. As you may have noticed, many of you don't see my videos as much as you used to. I keep getting messages and comments about the fact my videos are no longer being shown in subscriber feeds, they are not being recommended, and notifications are not appearing. I am unsure if my content is actually being suppressed on YouTube, but I do know it is being suppressed on TikTok, which is one of the reasons I focused on YouTube over the last year. You matter now more than ever. There can be no innocent bystanders on my platform. Everyone must be engaged. The message of Pan-African autonomy and self-determination is important, and we must do our part to get it out. If you want to learn more about Africa and the diaspora, as well as ancient African history, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter at www.alkebulan.media right here. If you want to support my videos directly, you can join my Patreon right here, where you can even get your name featured in the opening or closing credits of my main videos. It is so important we build up our community independently, and the Alkebulan newsletter is email-based and means we will not be susceptible to algorithms and censorship. Without your support, I wouldn't have been able to continue doing this work, so I am very grateful for all of you. Continue to like and share my videos, and soon we will have a community large enough to make a real difference for the future of Africa.